Training can be one of the most complicated and intimidating things that you can do in Football Manager. There are so many different options and combinations to get the best on the training pitch, and ultimately I know a decent amount of you just delegate it directly to your assistant manager. Well, today, hopefully, with these routines that I'm going to talk to you guys through, hopefully you can gain the edge on the field with these routines. I'm going to talk to you about my routines for pre-season, for when you've got one game week, for when you've got 2 games in a week, and when ultimately you have a week off and we're trying to get some recovery in there. I will also throw in the non-league part-time semi-pro routine that I'm using in my save with 𝗬𝗲𝗬𝗘, twitch.tv/𝘕𝗍𝗓𝗏. You can catch me streaming that save and see these routines in action. The full-time ones that I'm going to go through today, basically, they are part of what I do as rebuilds. I use them all the time, and we're having some very, very good results in those as well. So I've opened up a save for you guys to come and take a look at, and we've gone into the training tab. This is a blank schedule, but I'm kind of going to talk through the things that I think you guys need to include in your routines as a minimum. Ultimately, if you don't want to use mine, that is absolutely fine. I'm just going to talk to you about the things that I think you definitely need to include. So we're going to open up the Saturday, and I'm just going to throw a match in there on the Saturday. So this is the base of what everyone's schedule looks like. They've automatically thrown in a recovery session for you on a Sunday now, and there is automatically a match focus that you cannot remove at all, which I think is quite good. The rest of it, you have all 7 days of the week and 3 options for sessions. So the 2 things that I guarantee you need to add in. For me, I always do this on a Tuesday. I open up a slot here and I go into the extracurricular and I always select the team bonding session. This, as you can see, greatly impacts happiness and team cohesion. It works on the attribute of teamwork, and fatigue is slightly reduced, but your condition is also slightly reduced. I think the positives outweigh the negatives here, so I would definitely consider adding a team bonding session. And then the day after you have a fixture, I would highly recommend going into the match preparation tab and adding in a match review. As you can see, the primary focus of this is a session dedicated to analytically reviewing the previous match, and it bumps up the tactical familiarity as well as all those other things that you can see on screen. These are the favorite 2 of mine of all the training sessions, of which there's lots that you can put together that will definitely help your team. Now I'm going to go through the routines that I have set up. So we start off with pre-season. Pre-season for me is all about getting some fitness into your team, but also about doing a little bit of ball work as well. You can see the different sessions that I've got here. You do need to pause it at any point for you guys to basically get this into your game. Please do so. But if you are on PC or on Mac, there is going to be a download file for you down below to go and get that. And you can import them into your game, which will be very, very straightforward. Once you've done this is the sessions though. You can kind of see I'm working on my chance creation, my chance conversion, as well as all the physical stuff as well. Throwing in some recovery days as well. Wednesday is a pretty light recovery day, just working on chance conversion. And Sunday is 2 back-to-back recovery sessions with a rest session thrown in. I find this is quite good for pre-season. Obviously, you're playing lots of matches. If matches come in at different points, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. If you stagger your preseason matches, so like Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, and stuff like that, and stagger them week to week, I don't think this will be a problem. It doesn't really matter where the games lie. Then we move into the session for a 1 game week. Now, most of you guys who are playing in England, this is what this will look like for you. Your games will be on a Saturday. If you are playing somewhere else in the game, I would highly recommend looking at this, because when you automatically put the schedule in, if your match is on a Sunday, for instance, you will most likely miss out on a match review. You will have to add that in manually. So please do make sure that you do that if your games are not on a Saturday, because annoyingly, I cannot put a match review session in here. It will not let me. It's really irritating. So this is how it looks. Basically, on a Monday, you're working the team as an overall collective unit, overall training, outfield training, then possession training. We get that team bonding in there on the Tuesday, which I say. We keep the Wednesday relatively light, and then into the Thursday, it's kind of looking like that as you're building up for the matches. Ball retention, chance conversion. On the Friday, the day before, you work on your match tactics, you have your set piece routines, and then obviously we do have that match review at the end. This works really well on a Saturday. It kind of builds up the intensity, starts pretty high, and then tapers off and gets you ready and focused and sharp for your matches. And as I said, I've been using these in rebuilds, guys, and it's been working pretty darn well for me so far. On a 2-game week, this is how we are set up, guys. So we have our routines and our chance conversion before a match on a Tuesday. This works quite well in the Champions League and stuff like that if you are playing in those midweek sessions. Obviously, we've got the recovery and the match review sessions, but I'm chucking in extra rest sessions here just to keep everybody on their toes, especially if you're playing 2 games in a week. It's going to be intense. The physicality is going to hit your players and everyone is going to get very, very tired. So make sure you keep those rest sessions in there. And then finally, we've got our week off here, which is pretty self-explanatory, guys. This is when players are on international duty or something like that. We're just basically giving them the week off. We're working them hard on a Monday and a Tuesday. Wednesday is very, very light. Thursday and Sunday are completely off. And this is basically about letting players recover while still doing things at the training ground, keeping that team bonding going, keeping a match practice session going, the match tactics, so that everything is good for the players up here whilst they're letting their legs recover. These are pretty good. I would also recommend going into the mentoring tab and just asking your assistant to assign it whilst we're in here and talking about training. I think that will massively make a difference. Then you go back to your calendar once you've got your schedules in, and you can see here we go to preseason, go to custom schedule, and then you just start adding in, yes, I'm going to take control of my training. We're not going to delegate it anymore. I'm going to take control. And then you just go through and just assign your training in as you've done it here. In a second, I will tell you guys how to get it done, but there you go. The season starts and we go into our 1-game week. If I try and find a fixture that Man City do have on a Sunday, do they have any? This is a double game week, so if we throw a double game week in here, HD 2-game week, there you go. You can kind of see how it all fits and how it all works there. I'm trying to look for a game of theirs on a Sunday to see if they do have one. They don't, but basically you go through and you add in all of your training. Now you guys are going to get the download from the description. I'm going to talk to you guys about how to get those into your game. So guys, you would have downloaded my routines from the link in the description and it will go into your downloads folder. I'm going to need you to extract the contents of that folder and then find this area here where your Football Manager 2024 is installed. For me, it's installed on my computer in my documents section, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2024. I've got different videos on the channel where you kind of explain, where I explain to you guys how to put graphics in. This is basically the same. You need to go to the exact same area and then find these folders. So as you can see, we have everything all set up here. You need to get to the contents of the folder that you download and you need to go into the schedules folder and then paste everything in here. As you can see, I've got all of mine in here, which I will include in the download. If you want more rest because your players are getting tired, I've got a schedule for that as well. But here is where all of the files are stored. Paste them all into this area. Then you need to go back into Football Manager, go into the schedules section. Into the schedules you go. Then you need to go into import schedule, and then this is where it pulls up that same file location from your computer, and you have the option to put in all of the sessions. There is my one with more rest if you guys need it. They will all be in the download. I know my non-league one's not there. It will be in the download, I promise. Hopefully this is good for you guys. Hopefully you find it beneficial, and hopefully training gives you the edge on the field and you can achieve more.